You like swing?
Listen to Benny Goodman, the king of swing.
You like to smoke?
Penny for penny, Camels are your best cigarette buy. The makers of Camel cigarettes present the Saturday night Camel Caravan with Benny Goodman and the greatest assembly of swing artists in the world today. And again tonight, Benny brings you the number one lady in the whole kingdom of swing, Mildred Bailey. And here is the king of swing, Benny Goodman.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Saturday Night Camel Caravan. It's 10 o'clock here in New York, 9 in Chicago, 8 in Denver, and 7 in California. But no matter where you are or what time it is, it's still Saturday night, and that means it's time for a little fun. So if you can use some music, we'd like to join you. And I'd like to bring my very good friend, Ted Pearson, along.
Well, I won't take up much room. I'm just going to stand here by the machine and drop in the nickels. The first coin in the slot brings up Benny Goodman's Down by the Old Mill Stream. I bet that old mill stream's dried up drier than a bone. So let's let Benny sort of moisten things up a bit with a slightly mellow job. What's new? Tell us, Benny. Tell us. All right, Benny, the mic's yours.
Last week, Ted, when we announced that Mildred Bailey was going to be a permanent member of the Camel Caravan, the audience here in the studio shouted their approval. This week, more shouts and further approval have come from letters and press clippings all over the country. The radio editors and critics agree with all you listeners that Mildred Bailey is the greatest of them all. Take a bow, Mildred.
Thank you, Benny. It sure makes me happy that you all like me.
All right, Mildred. And for our first number tonight, Mildred sings the hit song from the new Rogers and Hart show, Too Many Girls. I didn't know what time it was.
I didn't know what time it was. Then I met you. Oh, what a lovely time it was. How sublime it was, too. I didn't know what day it was. You held my hand, warm like the month of May it was, and I'll say it was grand, grand to be alive, to be young, to be mad, to be yours alone. Grand to see your face, feel your touch, hear your voice say I'm all your own. I didn't know what year it was. Life was no prize. I wanted love, and here it was, shining out of your eyes. I'm wise, and I know what time it is now. What year it was, life was no prize. I wanted love, and here it was, shining out of your eyes. I'm wise, and I know what time it is now.
Mildred, you've sure got that singing department under control. Played only as the king can play it, Fletcher Henderson's arrangement of Ravel's famous Bolero. And here's Benny himself to tell you what the sextet's been up to.
Pardon me, Mr. Pearson, but I'd like to talk to him first.
Well, here I am. What's wrong, Lionel?
Plenty, Pops, plenty. Remember that big white angel that came down and sat on my bed one night out in California?
You mean the one that told you not to play any more vibrahops till I paid you more money?
Now you're digging, Pops. Well, that same angel came drifting into my room last night and says the same thing again. Lionel, she said. Yeah. And I said, boy, that's me. No more vibrahops till Mr. Goodman gives you more money.
Yeah. Well, that's funny, Lionel, because just last night an angel came drifting into my room and says to me, Benny, and that's me.
Yeah.
You're paying Lionel too much money for playing those vibrahops.
Oh, that couldn't have been my angel jiving like that.
Well, what do you want to do about it, Lionel?
Well, Pops, there's no sense in us arguing about it. We'll just let those angels fight out between themselves. Yeah.
All right, Lionel, but meanwhile, let's get to work on that new number the sextet put together this week. The Shivers. Take it, Charles.
A little earlier in this Camel show, Mildred Bailey sang a song from the musical Too Many Girls. Now from that same Rodgers and Hart score, Benny plays another hit tune, Love Never Went to College. And here's George Bryan to tell you how to measure a cigarette. How do you measure one, George?
One true yardstick of cigarette pleasure and cigarette economy can be said in these 5 words. Camel's costlier tobaccos burn slower. Camels are penny for penny, your best cigarette buy.
You've heard bands play it, you've heard gals sing it, but you've never heard it till you've heard La Bailey. Mildred Bailey sings Scatterbrain.
You're as pleasant as the morning and refreshing as the rain. Isn't it a pity that you're such a scatterbrain? When you smile, it's so delightful. When you talk, it's so insane. Still, it's charming chatter, scatterbrain. I know I'll end up epileptic, but there's nothing I can do. It's just the same as being in a hurricane. And though my life will be too hectic, I'm so much in love with you. Nothing else can matter, you're my darling scatterbrain. Morning and refreshing as the rain. Isn't it a pity that you're such a scatterbrain? When you smile, it's so delightful. When you talk, it's so insane. Still, it's charming chatter, scatterbrain. I know I'll end up epileptic, but there's nothing I can do. It's just the same as being in a hurricane. And though my life will be too hectic, I'm so much in love with you. Nothing else can matter, you're my darling scatterbrain. Nothing else can matter, you're my darling scatterbrain.
Ah, Mildred, that was really fine. Now you'd better take stock of yourselves, because you'll never be the same when this is over. It's solid boogie-woogie and a yard wide. Roll 'em. Roll 'em, Fletcher, roll 'em. Those choruses were played by Fletcher Henderson, Ted Besley, Toots Mondello, Ziggy Elman, and, of course, Benny himself.
There it is, boys and girls. Till next week. Thanks to all of you for listening, and thanks to all you camel smokers who make these broadcasts possible. Good night.
When the Camel Caravan comes rolling in next Saturday, we'll all be aboard again. Benny Goodman, Mildred Bailey, and the whole gang. This is Ted Pearson saying, see you Saturday night.
The makers of Camel cigarettes present 3 great radio programs each week. On Monday nights, the radio version of Blondie. On Tuesday nights, the Dixieland Music Shop. And on Saturday nights, Benny Goodman, the king of swing, with Mildred Bailey. And don't forget that for cooler, milder smoking all the time, it's Camels. Penny for penny, Camels are your best cigarette buy.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.